Hey everybody, welcome to Frannie's Square. Today is part one of a tutorial for a rainbow patch crochet backpack. It's absolutely adorable. I'm going to show you the picture right here. Look at that. And in part one, we're going to be doing the base, the body, and the front flap. So I got an email from Amaris, one of our community members, and she said to me, could you do a crochet along of this rainbow patch crochet backpack? And she sent me the pattern, and as long as it's a free pattern, I can do that. So I decided to do it more as a tutorial. It's going to be a two-part tutorial. And so far, I've done the base, the bag, and the front flap. Let me show you the front flap here. It's so cute with the buttonhole there. And that's what part one of this tutorial is going to be. And then in part two, we'll finish it up. We'll put the front pocket on. Let me show you the picture here. This front pocket. And if you want to use embroidery floss to put an initial, you can do that as well. And then there's the strap also. So we'll finish those things up in part two. Now this pattern says it's intermediate. I think it's actually more of an easy pattern, and especially when you follow along, I will show you every step of the way what you have to do. But if you can do a single crochet, I think you can do this pattern, no problem. Now the materials the pattern call for are 5 colors of Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, which I got from Amazon. The way I purchased it, I actually ended up getting an extra color because it was sold in a pack. I'll link below to the things that I bought, but I'm sure you can get this yarn at many different online stores or maybe even in a store near you. Also, if you have something you want to use in your stash, do that. Just use the appropriate hook for the yarn you're using. And then other than that, you'll need a yarn needle and stitch markers and a button. Now, if you know anything about me, I will probably make my own button, but you can also purchase a button to sew on in the end. And I will show you how I make my own button. Not difficult at all. And you don't need any extra materials, just the yarn you have. And I think I'm going to do the button in a contrasting color. I think it's going to be nice. Okay, so grab your materials and let's get started. Okay, so for this pattern, it calls for using Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, and it gives the different colors here. I ordered this 6-pack of these colors from Amazon, and it came with this ruler here that also measures your hook. And it does have sunshine, hot pink, hot green, but I believe the blue is a different blue, and I'm just going to use the blue that it came with. See if I can tell what blue it is. I'll let you know when I take it out. The ecru I ordered separately, and that should be here soon. In addition, it says that I need an H8 5mm crochet hook. So I have that, or size needed to obtain gauge. So you can do the gauge and decide if that's the size you want to use. I have my stitch markers. I have my yarn needle. And I do not have a button. I may make my own as I do often, or I may just choose one from the other room. When we get to that, I'll show you what I decided to do. All right, so we're going to start with the base. It says, begin with the base. Backpack is worked in sections built directly from previous sections. Body is worked in continuous rounds. Pocket, flap, and straps are worked separately, then sewn on. Okay, so we're going to start the backpack base with color A, which here is sunshine, and we're going to chain 23 loosely. Okay, so I'm going to chain 23 loosely. I've never used this yarn before, but I can tell you that it looks like it splits easily. Okay, and it's a cotton yarn. I forgot to show you that. Let's just take a look here. It's a 4-weight, and this color blue I got is hot blue instead of blueberry. It's 4-ply, 2.5 ounces, 70.9 grams, 120 yards per skein, and I believe it's 100%, here we go, 100% cotton. It's made in Canada. All right, so I have my 23 chains. So let's go back to our instructions. First row, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the second chain from hook, and then the kernel stitch across to the end of the chain, and then turn, and we should have 22 stitches. So first we're going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Okay, now we're going to do the kernel stitch, which is you insert the hook in the last stitch worked. So that's this stitch, we just worked this. I'm going to insert the hook in that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then we're going to insert the hook in the next stitch and yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and draw through all 3. And that's the kernel stitch. So again, we go into the stitch that we just worked, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, just like that. And we're going to do that all the way down until we get to the end. Last stitch worked, next stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, continue to do that, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, coming to the last stitch here, going into the last stitch worked, yarn over, pull up a loop, the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. And it says, just to make sure here, across to the end of the chain, turn, and you should have 22 stitches. So let's just count our stitches from the beginning. Here we go, here's our first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Very good. Okay, so let's turn our work, and second to 26th rows, chain 1 and single crochet in the first stitch and kernel stitch across to the end of the row and turn. So we are going to do this until we have a total of 26 rows. Okay, so second row, chain 1, single crochet into this first stitch here. There we go. And now kernel stitch across. So just like before, we go into the last stitch worked, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. And we're going to continue that all the way down to the end of the row. And we're going to do this same thing until we hit 26 rows. Okay, so continue doing that, and I will meet you at the end of the 26 rows. This is what it's looking like. It's very pretty. I just wanted to add a note here to make sure that you get into the very last stitch. Don't miss it. So I'm coming to the end of this row, going to my last stitch, my next stitch, pull through all 3. Don't forget this stitch here. last stitch. That's your last stitch, because you want to make sure you're not dropping stitches off the end. Okay, I'll meet you back here after row 26. Okay, so I have finished my 26 rows here. I really like this stitch. I think it's really pretty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join first, and I'm just going to pull the row through here. Tighten that. Let me see. I want to make sure I still have a little bit of a tail there. All right. And then I'm going to disconnect, leaving a tail so I can weave it in the sunshine. Okay. Now, get that out of the way. Let's read the instructions for what we're supposed to do next. Okay, so for the body, first round, with B, which is ecru, chain 1, work 20 single crochet evenly across last row, then work 3 single crochets in the corner. Then work 33 single crochets evenly across the side edge, work 3 single crochets in the corner, and then repeat once more and join with a slip stitch. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we are going to go around our base to start our body. Okay, so with my working yarn here of ecru, I'm going to chain 1, like it said, and it says to work 20 stitches evenly across the top, which makes sense. You have 22, and your corner stitches, you're going to put 3 single crochets. We're not going to do this one until we come back around. So I'm going to start in this stitch here. I'm going to just weave right over my tails. Where's my tail here? I'm going to go right over my tails. So not in this first stitch, but this next one, I'm going to do a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm just going into each stitch here. 4. And 20. Oh, my tail lasted that long. That was a long tail. All right, so after the 20th single crochet, we're going to do 3 in this corner stitch here. This is to turn the corner. So 1, 2, 3. Now it says to do 33 stitches evenly down the side. So what I did was I just took a look at it and said to myself, how can I get 33 most evenly? And so plan out your stitches. I'll show you how I'm doing mine. It just needs to be fairly even. You don't have to go crazy. I'm going to do my first one right here. 1. And then I'm going to go to this open space 2. My ends are going to be the furthest apart. Then I'm going to go 3. I'm counting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I like to look at it first and plan it out. 10. Then I know it works. 11, 12, 13, 14, and don't make yourself crazy. It just has to be fairly even. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. Okay, so I have 33, and now I'm going to go in this corner stitch and do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, just to turn the corner, 3. And now I'll work over this beginning tail that I had, and I'm going to do 20 single crochets across this side, 3 in my corner here, and 33 up this side. And I'll meet you at the end up here, and we'll be putting 3 single crochets in the corner and slip stitching, but I'll meet you here. Okay, so here I am. I've come around. I've done 20, 33, 20, 33, and I'm coming back to this corner space here. I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the corner, 2 and 3, and then it says join with slip stitch to first single crochet. So here's my first single crochet. I'm going to join with a slip stitch there. Okay, and then it says place marker at beginning of round. So let's put a marker there. So the beginning of the round was this first single crochet. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in that single crochet space. See if not the easiest thing to do. There we go. All right. Now it says for the second round, chain 1, 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, and do not join. All right. So I am going to chain 1, and I'm going to start with the next single crochet and do a single crochet in each stitch around till I get back to the beginning, and I am not going to join. So I'll meet you there. Okay, so here I am coming back around to the beginning. I'm coming in this last single crochet before the stitch marker. And if I look at the instructions, it says do not join, and then 3rd through 9th rounds, working in continuous rounds, 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, do not join. So until I finish round 9, I'm just going to continue around and around, putting a single crochet in each single crochet. So I just did this one. Now I'm going to do the one where my stitch marker is, where I started the round, and I'm going to continue. You can take your stitch marker out and move it up to that stitch, just so you know where the beginning of the round is. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in this stitch here that I just did, and I'm going to continue a single crochet in every single crochet around until I've finished my 9th round. Now this is round 3, so count from here and continue around, and I will meet you at the end of the 9th round. Okay, so coming around to the end of the 9th round, I am just going to put my last single crochets in. And this is in that last stitch. All right, now let's read the 10th to 29th rounds. 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. Do not join. Okay, so until the end of the 29th round, we're going to do exactly what we were doing except with a half double crochet in each stitch. So here I am back at the beginning. I'm going to take my stitch marker out, and in the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet, which just is a yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 3 on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's a half double crochet. I'll put my stitch marker back in. There we go. And I'm going to half double crochet around in every stitch until I am at the end of round 29. So this is round 10 right now. So we have a ways to go, and it's going to just look like that. So do that, and I will meet you at the end of round 29. Okay, so I am finishing up my 29th round here with half double crochets. Coming around to my first stitch. Okay, there we are. So let's take a look here. This is what I have. I have the base and my bags looking really nice. Okay, so let's look. 10th to 29th rounds, 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, do not join. 30th round, 1 single crochet in each half double crochet around, do not join. So all we're going to do now is go and do a single crochet. I'm going to do it in my first stitch here. And I'm going to take out my stitch marker. And I will put it in this single crochet that I just did. What did I do with the stitch marker? Okay, so I'm just going to stick it into this stitch that I just made so I'll know where I am when I come back around. And I'm going to just go around doing a single crochet in each half double crochet. So do that around, and I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay, coming around to the last stitch here, I'm going to do my last single crochet. And let's take a look at what the instructions say. Do not join. 31st round, 1 single crochet in each of the first 8 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 8 single crochets. So it's going to be 16 there. And then we're going to single crochet 2 together, and then we're going to go 8 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, 8 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, and it says you should have 107 stitches at the end. So starting with our stitch marker here, that stitch, I'm going to just take this out. And I'm going to do a single crochet in that first stitch. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker in. There we go. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm going to do another 8. 1, 2, and this is where the pattern starts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 together. So to do that, I'm just going to put my hook into one stitch, pull up a loop, put my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. I have 3 on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And that'll turn those 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So we're decreasing. Now we're going to do 8 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll single crochet 2 together, go into the 1 stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And you're going to continue that around, and at the end you should have 107 stitches. Okay, so once you finish that round, what you've done is you've decreased some stitches, and we're going to continue decreasing in the next round. So if we look here at the 32nd round, we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the first 8 single crochets. So we're going to do that again. Then the part that we repeat is going to be 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 single crochets, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together, and we're going to repeat that all the way around and end up with 96 single crochets. So back at my first stitch here, I'm going to take my stitch marker out. I'm going to single crochet for 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to single crochet for 7, and this is the beginning of the repeated sequence. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm going to single crochet 2 together, so I'm basically reducing 2 stitches to 1. I'm going to go in the first stitch, pull up a loop, go in the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that turns 2 stitches into 1. Then again, I'm going to do 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet 2 together, go in, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. And I'm going to continue that all the way around and count and make sure that I have 96 stitches at that point, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now after we're done that round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 single crochets, then single crochet 2 together, and just repeat that all the way around. So I'm going to decrease even more. So here we are back at the beginning. We're going to take this out and put my first stitch in here. And I'm just going to put my stitch marker back in. Forgot to do that right away last time, and I had to go back and find the spot. That was not good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together. There we go, and we're going to continue that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet 2 together. And then continue to do that all the way around till you get back to your stitch marker. And at the end of that round, you should have 84 single crochets. Okay, next, I came back around to where the stitch marker is. The 34th round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 single crochets, and then single crochet 2 together and repeat. And then at the end of that, we'll have 72 single crochets. And the top of your backpack should be getting smaller and smaller. Okay, so we're going to do 5 around this time. So we'll take this out. Put our first one in. Put the stitch marker back on. And we'll do 4 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's a total of 5 single crochets. And then we'll single crochet the next 2 together, go in, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. And then just continue around doing the same thing, repeating 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then single crochet the next 2 together. Okay, and continue going around till you get back to your stitch marker. Okay, back at the beginning again. And the 35th and 36th rounds, we're going to put 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, and then join with a slip stitch to the last single crochet and fasten off. And that will be the end of the body of our bag. So I'll take out my marker and put in my first single crochet and put my marker back in. Don't forget to put your marker back in. Okay. And then I'm going to do 2 rounds of single crochets and slip stitch at the end. So do that, and I will meet you back here at the end. Okay, back to the beginning, and we're just going to slip stitch to the first stitch. And fasten off. There we go, and you can weave in your end. And this is the base and the body so far. Okay, so to begin the top flap, We're going to work in the back loops only, and we're going to join C color, which is hot pink, with a slip stitch in the first single crochet of the last round of the body. Okay, so this is the first single crochet of the last round of the body. I'm going to go into the back loop only. And I'm going to pull up a loop. And then I'm going to chain one. Then I'm going to do one single crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch. So I'm going to do one single crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and then one single crochet in each of the next 26 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to go right over my tail here in that stitch, and then in the next 26 stitches into the back loop only. 1, 2, 3. Continue doing this until you have a total of 27 stitches. Okay, so once you have your 27 stitches, then we're going to go to the 2nd to the 19th rows. We're going to chain 1 and do 1 single crochet in each single crochet to the end of the row and turn. Okay, so here we are. We're going to chain 1 and just do 1 single crochet in each stitch across, like that. And you're going to do that all the way across the end of your row and then turn. And you're going to go back and forth until you've completed your 19th row. And then I'll meet you here. Okay, so this is the end of row 19. So for row 20, we're going to chain 1, single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 23 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together at the end, and then turn, and you should have 25 single crochets. So starting here, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We'll single crochet the first 2 together. So I'm going to go into the stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next 23 stitches. And in the last 2, I'm going to go into the stitches. This one's a little tight. There we go. And single crochet 2 together. There we go. Let me get that whole stitch there. Got that hole opened a little bit better there. There we go. And yarn over and pull through all 3. And now you have 25 single crochets. For the 21st row, we're going to chain 1, single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 9 single crochets. Then chain 3 and skip each of the next 3 single crochets for the buttonhole, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 9 and single crochet 2 together. So we're creating our buttonhole here. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, single crochet the first 2 together, 1, 2, now 9 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to chain 3. This is making our buttonhole. 1, 2, 3. Skip the next 3 single crochets, and then we're going to go over to the 4th one and start single crocheting again for 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3. I love this color. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to single crochet the last 2 stitches together, and there we go. And now we have our buttonhole right here. Now row 22, we're going to chain 1, single crochet 2 together, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 8 single crochets, then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 chains, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 8 single crochets, and then single crochet 2 together. So basically all we're doing is decreasing the ends and putting a single crochet in each stitch. It just so happens that 3 of the stitches in the middle are those chains that we just made. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, turn. We're going to single crochet our first 2 stitches together. And then it says single crochet 8, and you'll see that will bring us to the chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we're up to the chain, the 3 chains here, and all we're going to do is single crochet in each one of those chains. So I'm going to single crochet here. Here's the second one, and the third one right here. And then I'm going to just continue along. It'll be 8 more single crochets until I get to the last 2 to single crochet together. Okay, now we're to the last 2 here. This one and this one. And we just pull it through just like that. See our buttonhole looking nice. Okay, then for the 23rd row, we're going to chain 1, single crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet in each of the next 17, and then single crochet the last 2 together. So basically just following what we've been doing. Chain 1, turn our work, single crochet the first 2 together, 1, 2, and then we're just going to single crochet in each stitch until we get to the last 2, and we will single crochet those 2 together. Okay, here's the 17th, and we'll single crochet the last 2 together like that, and there we go. Okay, so after this we fasten off. All right, so let's fasten off. All right, there we go. Now we're going to do the top flap edging. So we're going to join with the same color with C with a slip stitch to the top left corner, and work a single crochet evenly around the edge of the top flap to the opposite corner. All right, so here is our flap, okay, and we want to attach to the top left edge corner. So I'm just going to turn it like this and attach right here in the very beginning, just like this. Pull it up like this. And I'm going to work right over the tail. I'm going to chain that in there and do a single crochet in that same stitch, and then just go, oops, I'm going to go over the tail, all the way around, doing a single crochet around the edging. And I'm going to just keep going all the way around here and up to the other side, and then I'm going to fasten off. So just keep doing that. This will just give it a nice edging. And I'll meet you at the end. Okay, and so this is what your edging will look like when you're done. Fasten off, weave in your ends, and in part 2, we're going to go over the pocket and the pocket assembly, and then we're going to be done. So part 2 is going to be a lot shorter than part 1. Okay, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the backpack. If you have any questions at all as you're going through the tutorial, don't hesitate to send an email to my email address at franniesquare@gmail.com, or just list your questions in the comments below. I'm sure other people have the same question. Part 2 of the tutorial will be coming out shortly. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to make it your own, and I'll see you soon.